Thank you, Dr. Aisha. We have our next speaker, Ms. Iman Binte Hafiz from NUMS Rawalpindi. She will be delivering a talk on insights into rare hematological disorders in Pakistan, epidemiology and database. Ms. Iman Binte Hafiz.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Iman Binte Hafiz and I'm from National University of Medical Sciences, and I'll be giving you an insight into the rare hematological disorders, all while talking about the variant analysis, epidemiology, and finally the database establishment. That is our goal. To give you a brief introduction, rare hematological disorders are actually blood disorders that occur rarely, and they affect the normal functioning and production of blood cells. Some of the main RHDs include aplastic anemia, Fanconi anemia, thalassemia, and hemophilia. So they can be classified on the basis of pathophysiology, etiology, severity, and prognosis, their cell lineage, and their clinical presentations. So many institutes are working on rare hematological diseases all over the country. To show you on a map, you can see here that they are mainly concentrated in Punjab and Sindh, but this number of institutes working on RHDs is increasing day by day. So our team at NUMS has certain objectives. The first one is to identify these variants in RHDs free of cost for the patients, and followed by applying in silico tools to test the pathogenicity of the variants, and to establish a database or a repository by gathering all of the information. So the study on RHDs is very limited due to it is very underreported, and it can be associated due to the lack of advanced diagnostic tools and limited public awareness. That gives us an incomplete picture, and it can also be associated with high rate of consanguinity as compared to rest of the world. And they, according to the studies that have already been done in Pakistan, we see that RHDs appear in certain age groups and socioeconomic classes. To give you a better insight into the epidemiology, we can look at some of the studies. So this study was done in Islamabad, and in this study, beta thalassemia trait frequency was found to be 5 to 7%, and around 5,000 children were beta thalassemia major in Pakistan, with more than 10 million carriers in the country. This study from Quetta shows that prenatal consanguinity was about 65%, and 16 out of the 40 patients had siblings that were affected with Fanconi anemia, and all of them had repeated infections, a history of repeated infections. And this study was done on the patients who were reporting to Pakistan Hemophilia Welfare Association. 65% of the patients in this study were diagnosed at less than 5 years of age. Anthropathy was the most frequently observed complication, and the rest, and 62% were found to have hemophilia A on the basis of factor 8. Another study from AFIP was done on 2,500 patients who were suspected to have coagulation disorders. 30.8% of them had inherited bleeding disorder, and the most common disorder was the factor 7, was due to the factor 7 deficiency, and the clinical presentation that was most common was bruising and gum bleeding in 61% patients and 55% patients. This study on 1,324 patients was done on aplastic anemia, and this was the biggest study done. And this study, it was found that severe anemia, aplastic anemia, was found in 45.2% of the patients, and consanguinity among patients was slightly higher than the normal national statistics, which accounted for 61%. This study from Karachi was done on 5 major ethnic groups, and abnormal hemoglobin variants were studied in 200,000 subjects. 60% of those patients had iron deficiency anemia, and the rest 40% had hemolytic anemia. So our team at NUMS is working on these RHDs, and our main goal is to collaborate with as many institutions and individuals who are interested in working on RHDs, so that we can collect this data, analyze them, and finally sustain and maintain this information for the betterment of the other patients. What we do at NUMS is that based on our previous studies, we can provide patients with the facility of variant identification and segregation, all free of cost. And we can help these patients get tested through techniques like NGS Sanger sequencing, and expression levels of different genes can be analyzed using real-time PCR. And we can also provide them the facility of protein analysis, signaling pathway, and their pharmacogenomics data can also be collected regarding the specific disease. To give you an insight or a sneak peek into our recent study, so we conducted a study on 8 patients, and we found that many variants were identified in multiple genes, and most of them were associated with Fanconi anemia. This is an unpublished study. And because working with RHDs can be tough, we have to face some challenges. The first one being limited awareness, not only among the public, but also the healthcare providers. And there's also limited access to care for the patients. To bridge these gaps, it is important that we foster global as well as national collaborations. And we are more than happy to, again, collaborate with anybody who's interested to work on RHDs. Also, we are also interested in organizing one-day seminars for anybody who is willing to get information on RHDs. And finally, I would like to acknowledge all the patients and healthy donors who were involved in our studies, the institutions and hospitals who aided us in our work, the NUMS administration who funded us, and our incredible team of researchers who worked really hard on this. And if you are interested in any kind of collaboration, here are the contact details of my professor, Dr. Zainab Akram. Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions?
Thank you, Ms. Aman.